Alongside Francois Gagnon of RDS. And Francois, some interesting breaking news on the Montreal Canadiens front today. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a funny fact that the Montreal Canadiens are the only older team in the NHL that never played in Europe. Well, they played before. They went to Russia in the 80s. But since the Global Series, since the preseason games in Europe, in China, in Australia this year, they always stayed put in Montreal. But the owner, Jeff Molson, wants to see his team play in Europe in the near future. It's not going to be next year. From what I understand, it's going to wait another season. But in 26, the Montreal Canadiens could play games in Paris, France. And that would be like a natural thing for the Canadiens to go in France, in Paris. Now, there are some venues that would be interesting. There are many possibilities for them. We don't know yet how many teams would go. Would it look like what the Leafs got this season when they went to Sweden? We don't know how many games, how many teams, but the will of the Montreal Canadiens is to go to play in Europe, especially in Paris. It will happen, but the way it will happen is not known yet.
The other big question then is what kind of Montreal Canadiens team are we going to be looking at in the 25-26 season? Francois, give us a sense of, we understand the Montreal Canadiens were in a rebuild. They changed their management. They changed their head coach. Where is the fan base right now feeling about the status of the current Habs?
Well, in Montreal, the P word is the key right now. P for patience. But,
But how long, Francois?
That's the problem. Yeah. Everybody says, no, we're ready. We'll be patient. We'll be patient. But they are patient until they are impatient. And it comes early. After 3 losses in a row, the impatience, you can feel it. You can taste it. Everybody understands that. Management, ownership, players, they understand that at some point they will need to get not to be a cup contender or a sure thing for the playoff, but they will need to make sure that they will not get wiped out the ice the way it has been, the way it happened a few times so far this season. Now, they're on a roll. They won a good game last night. They played decent hockey, but they are a fragile team. But it's normal. They are a young team. But, it's been such a long time since the Montreal Canadiens could have said that we are a bound playoff team, and we can really expect a push for the Stanley Cup, that the fans, they look at this and they say, when is it going to happen? And nobody knows. Right. So it's going to be interesting. Patience is a virtue, but
we'll see how much longer that lasts.
that is the huge question.
All the latest news on the Montreal Canadiens at the Board of Governors meetings with Francois Gagnon of RDS.